We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 50 after Monday Night Raw?
What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It is Tuesday, August the 12th. I've been awake for far longer than I normally am on the daily show, but I am fired up to be here, and everybody knows I love Tuesdays. Normally, I would introduce a certain guy, a certain fellow first, but out of necessity here, I'm sending it across the pond out of the gates to Mr. in the Bank, the man with the briefcase and the sweatbands, all of the above, none of the below, in some circles known as Mickey's best pal. Jordy in the Bank, what is good, my friend? Are you muted? Jordy, are you having audio issues? Can the audience hear you?
Hello.
Or is it my
Can
fault?
you hear me now? Can you hear
Now
me now?
we can. He's
Okay,
back.
we're good. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, no, I'm here. I had a bit of a panic because I didn't have my briefcase. And I was like, how will people even know who I am? And you've sold me down the river, Clark, because I've not even got sweatbands on today. So I only have half of the above. But unlike some of the rest of the panel, I am here. So I mean that stands for something, right?
Oh, in the interest of fairness, I'm going to let you have that one temporarily here, Jordy, but
Oh no.
let me introduce. It's Tuesday, get your twos up, and the reality is, Shotty showed up this morning for a huge interview on Sunday that you haven't seen yet if you're a fan, and you're going to want to see. This is a good one, but the best part is to have the Tuesday night delight on a Tuesday. Let me send it to the DMV. It's good to see you again. It's only been a few hours, and I've only had a blueberry bagel since I saw you, but it went well. How have you been?
What's going on, man? It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and I am back with another episode of the Wrestling Republic Daily Broadcast. Apologize for being a little tardy. I got real life shit outside of podcasting, so that kind of intervenes a little bit, but I'm here now. We good to go.
Not Shad's fault. We just completely tried to make a joke about it. That's on me as much as anybody, you know. I said it was okay at the time, Shotty,
Sure.
but it's good to have you. I gave
More
permission.
importantly, it's a Tatum
Everything good?
Tuesday.
It's just another Tatum Tuesday.
That's all that matters here.
I missed
Holy
the song, honestly. We got Fernando Zayas with Happy Tuesday, WR Crew. Happy Tuesday, Fernando. You're the man. Raw was excellent last night. Couldn't agree more. Jordy has been Jordy in the Bank since 2023. That's the thing. His contract was a 3-year deal.
Yeah, I've not cashed it in yet.
Yeah, he's got more time than the normal one.
Uh-huh.
We've got Aunt U with I'm here. Let the chicanery begin. Raw. Absolutely. And then me and Aunt U here early from the Atomic Merp Monster shout out.
I don't
Tell
know,
him
bro.
why.
You here? It's 3:06. I don't think that's
Look at
technically
this.
early.
This is National Julienne Fries Day, which I think, honestly, Zach Minger hits us with whatever the national day is every time.
What is
honestly,
Julian Friday?
Those are like the real shoestringers, like the thinnest ones, real crispy. I'm actually a fan of those. So happy National Julienne Fries Day, at least from me. When it comes to that, I am a
Sounds
fan
like a
of
wrestler
those.
name.
Julienne Fries.
Yeah.
Up next, we got Julienne Fries.
Yeah. I think that'll work. If I ever
She's
get
a
back in the ring, that's
Future
what I do.
women's champion, by the way. WWE, if you're listening, take that name from us. We came up with it, so give us credit. All right, so we've got some interesting stuff here. I've got some experts on the show today when it comes to this subject, considering, me and Shotty covered NXT for quite some time, but I also know, Jordy, you know what you're talking about when it comes to this subject as well. Naomi's injured allegedly. I don't know. Now I don't believe anything anymore. That I've seen what happened with Seth Rollins and him throwing the crutches. So, it is what it is. But Roxanne Perez picks up the victory against Io Sky as the resident Io Sky expert at Wrestling Republic. Shad, I'm going to go to you first, then I'm going to Jordy.
Yeah, man. Obviously, I got to just say something out the gate, man. There was a lot of completely disgusting discourse this past weekend on our platform. And, I'm not even going to give the name of the gentleman who said all this trash on our podcast because he doesn't deserve that light of day. But it feels good to see the irony that Io Sky came in and delivered and got so much airtime on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw after that horrible discourse. I just want to say that first, Clark. I'm sorry, but that it just needs to be said. Her and Roxanne Perez just put on an absolute TV classic last night, and it's nothing short of what they can do. These are two of the best in-ring wrestlers in the entire world. Io Sky is the best in-ring wrestler in the entire world. I think she is bell to bell better than most in this industry, and they went out there and put on an absolute clinic. I was surprised by the news of Naomi being injured, whatever the case may be, but for them to go through a situation of, giving us this match and delivering it to that high of a caliber, I'm not upset. Roxanne Perez does pull out the victory, and I like it. I think you and I have watched Roxanne for some time now in NXT. She's the prodigy for this very reason. She's just levels ahead of people her age, and she's got a undeniable star power that cannot be just without being mentioned. So to that, I think she looked great. With Io, I'm real interested to see where the course of her story goes now, because it looks like with that loss, a little bit of shenanigans happens with her relationship between her former Kabuki Warriors teammates Kairi Sane and Asuka. And then you had the whole backstage interaction with Vaquer, and you had the backstage interaction with Rhea Ripley. To me, I think the tag team of Rhea and Io could be very special. I mean, you want to talk about, like, that's LeBron and D Wade playing with each other, right? Like two of the best in the industry coming in and just becoming a dominant tag team, them potentially going against the Kabuki Warriors. But you know what I want? I need an Asuka versus Io one-on-one match. I need that. That is just Joshi heaven for me. Those are two of the best Joshis of all time going against each other. So all in all, I'm excited, man. I think Io is just been one of the most underappreciated wrestlers this past year, from her title reign, to the matches that she delivers, to the classics. She's just instantly one of the most important people in the entire company. And I just want to see her more constantly on my television screen. I want to see her on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I want to see her on Main Event. I want to see her on Evolve. I want to see her in all of WWE. I want to see her have her own episode on the Netflix documentary. I want them to make a statue for her. I want her to do commentary. I want
statue outside of an arena. I like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, Shad, one thing I'll say about this, because I'm in agreement, and I love that you mentioned the idea of Asuka versus Io. That's Ken Griffey Jr. 97 Slugfest, man. Mm-hmm. It's the best baseball video game ever made. And you get the reference if you get the reference. That's a slugfest. That is exactly what we need in the women's division. And it makes perfect sense. I love everything about it. I do have a bunch of shout outs in the comments. Eugene Clark is in the comments. He used the F word, so I can't read that one aloud, but I do appreciate the tune in. Absolutely. We've got Ant University, what they are getting up, or they're setting up Asuka versus Io, and I'm so excited about this match. Absolutely. Donnie De Silva with, as I said on this week's episode of Huge Pop, I can guarantee that the EO Rocks Trish was exactly what was planned if EO worked Naomi. I agree with that. I also was on that episode of Huge Pop though, so shout out myself. Thank you for having me, Donnie De Silva. No doubt about it. We've also got Excelento, 100% from Jason Havik. We've got the Atomic Merc with, like I said yesterday, Kabuki Warriors heel turn on EO, then possibly Asuka versus EO. Yep. Atomic Merc did call that yesterday in the chat, no doubt. Asuka as a heel is epic, but the tag division is too thin to have the Kabukis work solo right now. Donnie, I agree. My bad, bro, from Eugene. No worries, buddy, man. No, it's all good. We're hanging in here. Jordy, I got to get your thoughts though, because obviously there's a lot at play here. The injury is just reckless speculation. We don't love to recklessly speculate all the time. Not necessarily. We're not totally sure what this is, especially given what we've seen in recent months. But I want to get your thoughts when it comes to Roxanne picking up the victory against Io. Another thing that we didn't mention, Roxanne's entrance right now is so underrated. That look into the camera, the work on that, I think is amazing. And to get a victory over Io Sky, I think is a feather in her cap as far as being on the main roster. So I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm glad that you asked me about that because that was what I wanted to talk about anyway. In terms of I'll talk about the first thing you mentioned first with the injury and its reckless speculation. I just am of the opinion, and it's just my opinion, I kind of hope it's not a work. And that sounds bad because you guys all know I'm not saying I hope Naomi's injured. Of course I don't. But I just think to almost pull the same trick that they did with Seth with Naomi so soon after, I just think I wouldn't see why they would do that. So that kind of makes me think that it is genuine, but or hope in a sense. But then yeah, that sounds weird because then it sounds like I'm hoping Naomi's injured, which I'm not. But Roxanne, honestly, one of the breakout stars in terms of coming onto the main roster and just killing it every single time. Like, I don't think she's really put a foot wrong since she's been on the main roster. I think you're absolutely right. Getting a win over Io Sky is a huge feather in the cap. Like, it's the biggest win she's had on the main roster, I would say. And I think she deserves it. It is one of them situations. Look, I'm as much of a Io, maybe not as much as Shad, but I'm as much of a Io Sky fan as the next person. So I don't want to see her take a pin really, but I actually think the way it was executed last night, obviously it wasn't super clean. It was a roll up. It is building potentially towards Io versus Asuka. So I think the finish has done a lot for both of them. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not great for Io, but in terms of building a storyline, it's done a lot there. And it's just done a lot for Roxanne. I'm sure we will hear her talk about it next week, like straight away. Do you know what I mean? She'll say that she's pinned Io Sky.
I 100% am with you. I think it's such a character builder for Roxanne on the main roster. It's the most important thing she's done yet. I do have to shout out, though, back to the comments really quickly. We got a raid, but there's one person in particular I want to shout out, and that's Takes. I'm totally going to call you after the show. We need to chat soon. Cam, you're the man. Thank you always. Raid Clark, Aura. I love this. We are absolutely having a great time. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, man. Like you were saying, Jordy, Roxanne, she looks amazing on screen right this second. This is the most important victory, though, since she's been on the main roster.
I want her to beat Rhea next.
Easy now.
Rhea next.
Dude, what if she got both?
Both
That's kind of where my brain went, though, too, Jordy. What if she got both? And this idea of Rhea can't
What
catch
you mean,
Io?
man? What you mean easy? She ain't Teflon. She can take a pin. Like
No,
Io
what
is.
I'm saying is
nope.
That's what Jordy's saying. Let me finish really quick, and then because we're gonna vet this for a second. Because the way I look at it is like this: the story that needs to be told is, how can Rhea Ripley pin everybody but Io?
Mhm.
And there's not a direct route back to Rhea Io where it makes sense that Rhea picks up the win. If Roxanne suddenly then pins Rhea too, it's like, I got you both. Now she's stuck in another triple threat, and we can extend the rivalry longer to where we get to a spot where Rhea Ripley finally climbs the mountain, gets Io Sky one-on-one, Riptide 1, 2, 3. And I think that's where Donnie right here was saying zero reason for Rox to beat everybody clean. I wasn't saying clean, Donnie.
She should never be.
Donnie, I was not saying clean. I was not saying clean.
She should not be Io Sky.
She's gonna.
She shouldn't.
Definitely don't get it twisted. We've also got Joey Belsham in here with Can You Shout Me Out, Please? So I guess you're welcome.
You got to pay for that, Joey.
Yeah, you got that. You're in. You've been
Put my Venmo in the chat.
Atomic Merp agrees here, I think, with Donnie's. I'm not 100% sure there.
Donnie's point is that, and I agree with it. I think Rock should get wins. It should be in heel tactics. Obviously, she's got the heater and Raquel. Keep it like that. To me, Roxanne is really embodying like AJ Lee Jr. in a sense. Like the ring gear is looking a little bit more like, not as ring gearish, a little bit more like kind of street clothes in a way. And she's got the, the facial expressions and all of that to tie as well. So she's definitely kind of embodying a little bit of AJ Lee in her on the main roster, which I don't think is a bad thing at all.
100%. I'm not going to lie. We could probably talk about this for the rest of the show because it's a subject we're all interested in, no doubt. But we are going to move on to the next topic because this one is equally interesting. I'm afraid this could get out of hand.
Breakdown before GTA 6.
Benny's gonna be lost when GTA 6 comes out, bro. Like, what? He's gonna be like, what do I make memes with?
Yeah, how do we do this? Either way, when it comes to Bayley, I've been saying it for a long time. Bayley was the MVP of the women's division when it came to the pandemic. Bayley, with no fans, was the best in the business. And she's that good with fans. The only damage that was controlled in damage control was the damage to Bayley and Dakota Kai. And they could only control so much of it. That's the best. That's the best they could do. I cannot wait to see what Bayley does after this vignette. I'm tossing it straight to you, Shad, because I am just tickled by this. Give me Bayley in the zone back right away. And that is what she looked like in this vignette.
I'm not going to lie to you. The vignette last night gave me goosebumps. Like, it was such a incredibly well-produced video package. I think the acting that she had on it was top-notch. It's probably one of the best character arcs I've seen from Bayley in some time now. And this is what is best for business. I absolutely love Bayley. That is my wife's favorite wrestler in the entire world. And I have to admit, after winning the big match at Mania and the damage control fall off, she got a little stale. Nothing of significance was popping for her as a character. She was kind of, a safe wrestler. She gave you high quality matches. She made people look good. She did what she needed to do. But she didn't feel at that level of superstar we've seen her from times past. And the last time I think Bayley has been an undeniable superstar is when she was heel, is when she did dump off the hugger gimmick and she did go full on Bayley Dose belts to Ding Dong Hello. Like, that was a great, great character arc. And this one is even a little bit more, anticipated because it feels like it is showing a little bit of heel tendencies. It is a little bit darker, but it's also talking about a lot of the emotions that she may be feeling, a lot of the stuff that we hear rumblings online. She's like just molding everything all into one character. And to me, when you can embody a sense of frustration that you may have, a sense of, you know, the rumbles that you hear from the online perception for what you've talked about in interviews, and you can really create that as a battery to support a strong character. I think this can be something that transcends her to potentially the final form Frieza. Like, this may be the biggest character we can get from her, because it's got the heel persona, but it's got a level of like edginess to it. It's got a level of craziness to it. You know, this is what Bailey could really set herself apart from a lot of people. And I compare it similar to what we just saw with Naomi. Naomi went so off the rails to something a little far different than what we expected her to do, and she's been absolutely killing it. This same thing could be said for Bailey, and this could really be something that catapults her to the next level in the women's division.
I am so 1000% with you. I wish I could argue with you on this one. We've got comments backing you up as well, because I'm on the exact same page. I think this is exactly if I was a doctor, this is the prescription you write for Bailey.
Yep.
Right? Like, it makes perfect sense. Everything about it adds up. We've got the Atomic Merc with Donnie Knows. He said that earlier. We've also got Eugene Clark here with, I feel like Bailey turning heel after seeing the segment. He agrees on what you said, Shad. 100%. The loose cannon Bailey, I'm all for. Yes.
We didn't lose canon so many characters, though. We can't say that for her.
Absolutely. I mean, well, I do think it still should be a compliment to be compared to Brian Pillman, given what he accomplished. I do think it is now become a cliche, as you mentioned, Shad. And so it's tough. We need to come up with a new one. Maybe we could be the ones to do that. That's at least the way I look at it,
And
right?
what Aunt you was saying, bro, she said some very wise words an hour ago. She tweeted
Yes.
Yappa Ecaf, which is a very, if you know what that means, it means it's a very philosophical term.
Yes.
Yappa Ecaf.
Philosophy. I love that. Speaking
It's
of
a modern-
philosophy,
backwards it spells fake happy. Just to point that out. As a little
Oh, you're
Sherlock
right.
thing.
It does.
Gotham City Gliders. Did you know
Yeah,
race
she's-
car backwards is also a race car?
Yeah. She's a
Same with
modern
the
day
American name Hannah.
She's
Either
a
way,
modern day Socrates.
I do want to talk really quickly. I don't know if you guys like coffee. I'm sorry to distract everybody from all the fun that we're having here. But if you like coffee, check out Barista. It's small batch organic coffee created through excellence, authenticity, and unforgettable moments. This is Bo Hostler, one of my close personal friends, passion project. This is one of the best things going here. If you are a fan of coffee, head to barista.com. Check it out. You got visors, you got hats, you got all kinds of merch. But more importantly, you have some of the most high quality coffee you can get. And if you're a coffee snob like I am, you need to check this stuff out because it is that good and it launched yesterday. So we're ahead of the curve here over at WR, and I want you to definitely look into it. No doubt about it. But we also have a rest of the show to give you. Let's talk about Sam Zayn and Rusev. Diet Miro, I feel like is what we're getting right now, guys. Am I wrong? It's just, it feels like Diet Miro or Miro Light. I don't know. Jordy, can you make some sense of it for me?
No. Why? Why are you putting it on me? My WWE can't make sense of the run. I can't make sense of it. Listen, I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan. I am a huge. This match just felt like it was a little bit like a live show. I don't know. It did. I guess it progressed a couple of storylines. It felt bigger because of it being in Canada and Sammy being from Canada. I think that made it feel better. It was a no contest and attacks both sides. You know what I mean? So it was just it was a bit of a strange one. Interesting to see where the direction that Sami Zayn's going in right now, because like it's Solo and the gang taking him down. Like, is he gonna head for the US title? Like, I'm just a bit. Everyone in this match, I'm just a bit like, where are we going here? What's the payoff? Obviously, we're gonna get a big Sheamus Rusev payoff match. It just feels like it's dragging on a little bit too long for me now. It felt predictable as soon as I saw this match lined up. I was like, it's gonna win. Someone's gonna interfere for someone. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's somebody taking out Sammy, whether it's Sheamus taking out Rusev, something's gonna give. And it did. So yeah, it was a good match. Sami Zayn always wrestles a good match. Do you know what I mean? I'm always happy to see Sammy wrestle. Don't get it twisted. It's not a dig against Sammy at all. But I think I want a little bit more from him. Not from him. I want a little bit more for him than wrestling against Rusev, who, let's be honest, right now is just kind of. I don't even know if he's treading water.
I don't know how to explain it. It makes me sad almost.
Yeah.
Miro is boring.
I know.
He's boring, bro.
I
That's all it
know.
is.
I hate being so critical though of somebody that's so talented.
God's
You're like,
favorite
but
champion.
we
What happened to
know.
him, bro? Come on.
Also,
I'm sorry, bro. I'm about to shadow ban DFT stock from our comments because
leave it. It's fine.
Sammy Hogan. Okay, buddy.
You don't have to say it. Just leave it. He's harmless outside of that. Yeah, we get it. We saw what you said. It was a funny joke. Sammy's holding the world title here from Donnie De Silva, but they aren't ready for that. So he's got a solo side quest. Okay, that's fair, 100%. And then the Sammy Hogan comments are ignorant beyond words. Yes, thank you.
That's why I
would agree with that. We've got some good comments here. We got Eugene Clark with, I think the Bloodline is getting back together, or is that just me?
Bro, there'll be like 10 of them now.
I do think there's actually a possibility of an original Bloodline run headed to War Games. They're really going to drop a double cage in San Diego in November. I don't think that's out of the question. What do you guys think about that?
They're not called the Bloodline. They're the MFTs.
That's fine.
The mother effing Tongas.
I think Cena will maybe be involved in War Games. I think Cena might be involved in War Games. I don't know though. I just feel like he might.
Okay, this is actually real interesting because I have a theory, Jordy.
Okay.
What's the one accomplishment John Cena? Actually, I'm gonna put you back on the big camera. What's the one accomplishment John Cena has yet to do in his career?
Meet me.
Oh, that's a good one. But
IC title.
Exactly right. And who's holding it? Yeah, no. Eugene's talking about the OG Bloodline, and I knew that. Yeah,
Dominic is about to hand it over to AJ in France.
And where's he from?
Who?
Dominic.
No, he got Dominic losing it in France.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
I think AJ will take it in France when
okay, let's say
he doesn't. Then where's Dominic from?
Where?
10 miles away from Petco Park.
Okay, right.
Dominic Mysterio, John Cena for the Intercontinental title.
I wouldn't know who I'd want to win.
At Petco in San Diego? Dude. I'm
watching my parents fight, man. I don't want to.
That's where I feel like it makes the most sense, though.
I don't want to watch my
parents. He said it's like watching my parents fight. Jordy, bless you.
I don't want to see it.
I had other things to say. Jeez Louise, Jordy. No, I'm just the idea of winning that Grand Slam potentially in San Diego in the 619, right across the border from Tijuana, right across the border from where Ray grew up, right where Dom did grow up in San Diego, right in the 619 area code. I don't think there's any other route we should go.
I think though
the guy.
I'm gonna counter it. I think Cena could. Because I think if that happens, Cena's gonna win the IC title. I don't want him to. I want Dom to beat Cena for it back. I want Cena to put him over.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I want Dom to lose it in France, Cena to beat AJ Styles for it. We can have a throwback of that match, and then and then Dom can have beat Cena for it.
I haven't
As a
considered
hometown
Cena, AJ, and San Diego.
hero.
Hold up.
With,
That's not the worst call. Jordy.
I'd watch
Jordy.
Cena or AJ in a back.
with Antonio Gates as the special guest referee.
Antonio Gates, by the way. You had to go with the NFL reference there.
Come on, man. We just interviewed a guy who did all the NFL film stuff. I think I agree with Donnie. I think Sammy's getting the title off of Seth though, and I think people are gonna look, man. I just want to say this real quick before we get to the next topic. Y'all can complain and call him this, that, and the third. That's fine. Y'all did the same thing with Jey Uso, but it does not matter when you watch the television screen because people are absolutely going ape-ish when his music hits and they're chanting and going for his name. And it's not only just because it was in Quebec yesterday. It's anywhere. Sami Zayn is legitimately a big-time superstar. We wanted him to beat Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber for the title at one point. Like, the dude has a babyface personality that is undeniable. So, yeah, man, it'll be a special moment when he gets that world championship. And I'm here for it.
No doubt about it.
I agree with
Sammy's
Shad.
as anybody. I think
on a rare occasion, I do agree with Shad. I can't look past anyone but Sammy for winning.
What are the odds on all three of us? I guess like 33% chance. I think something like that. I gave up math long ago. Either way, let's talk about the main event. Let's talk about Los Angeles night. Yeah. CM Punk, Braun, all of the above, none of the below. Where we ended up is we have a fatal four-way book now for the world title that I am incredibly excited about. I'm not done with Jey Uso. I think the internet might have tried to make that a thing, but I think they're wrong. And that's where I stand from where I'm talking right now. I'm cool with this fatal four-way. Jordy, I'm going to go to you first, then I'm going to go to you, Shad, but let's break this whole thing down because this was a fascinating scenario. I don't want any trouble with you. The amount of stories that can be told in the ring here, I think, are off the charts.
Yeah, honestly, I think people forget how over LA Knight is. I really do. I think people think like it burnt out, but it hasn't, man. The pop that he got last night when his music hit was huge. It was massive. Like, my only gripe is that I don't think LA Knight's going to win the match, and I'm sick of seeing him get in these positions and never actually being given the ball. And I'm not just talking about championship matches. Like he had one against Roman, right? And then he in a fatal four-way at the Royal Rumble with like Randy and someone else when Roman was the champion. I'm sure he was. And now, again, he's in another multi-person match. He's been in 3 Money in the Banks in a row. He was in this one and didn't win then. I thought he was going to. And I just don't feel like he's going to win again. So I'm just a bit like, but I'm interested to see where this story goes. The people in the ring, it's going to be a huge match. It's going to be a very good match. The two dynamics you've got. The thing is, you've got 3 very, very over baby faces, and I know the lines are blurred now. Maybe good guy is just someone who gets cheered. Do you know what I mean? 3 of the biggest in CM Punk, and you know what, Seth as well. But technically, he is doing heel work. But it's going to be an electric match. I think it's going to be very fun for the fans in the arena to just even see LA Knight and Jey Uso in the same match because they're going to be shouting yeah and yeet, and then obviously you've got that ongoing very, very real, very bitter rivalry between Seth and Punk to kind of bring the match back into a bit more gritty sense. I think Seth walks away the winner, to be honest, because at the end of the day he can more or less balance the numbers. So yeah, I think Seth wins, and I'm happy that LA Knight's getting this opportunity to probably be on the main event. But I don't know. I just a bit gutted that. I don't think he's going to win again.
I'm kind of with you, and it's interesting. We got a great comment here, which is this might be a hot take, but I'm getting bored of Punk versus Seth after Clash. I want them to have a break from each other and face at Mania. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
The route to get there, I think, is muddy, though. And Jordy, you brought up a lot of great points. I don't see any other way that Seth should win this fatal four-way other than shenanigans. A Braun breaks somebody, or a Bronson breaks somebody with a tsunami.
Or a fourth.
Yeah, it's either a big wave
member.
or it's going to be Eugene Clark here with Roman is going to cost Seth. That would be delightful. I don't know where you go from there. That's my only argument against that.
I think we could get an additional member to Seth's group this time, because if you look at the numbers situation, it doesn't quite match up. But if we get a mysterious person run down in a hoodie and take out the final person to completely even it up,
maybe a Mysterio person.
Remember at what happened at
Right.
Clash back in Wales?
Oh.
That was where Solo first popped up and showed his face and aligned with Roman, wasn't it? So they might do it again as a Clash thing, but I think that could be a potential avenue.
I definitely think it's interesting. I do have to ask Shadi about this one as well, because obviously we want the funk when it comes to this program. And there's going to be something interesting, but your thoughts on what we saw on Raw last night, as well as this fatal four-way coming up here at Clash.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first and foremost, I know WWE is just absolutely killing it business-wise, and they have all these sponsors. I would like Monday Night Raw to snag a partnership with one of my favorite, ice cream places, Dairy Queen, because the theme for every Monday Night Raw is that we are going to get a DQ finish, Clark. So I think they need to get Dairy Queen on the board, put that all over the Titantrons, because we know that the finish is going to end with shenanigans. But last night it made sense. I think this is a big time match for Clash at the Castle. I think that all counterparts kind of are coincided amongst each other. Seth being the heel of it all, thinking that he's going to get away scotch-free, not have to deal with nothing. But now he's got to deal with a lot. And Punk being the more so a babyface, but a anti-hero in a way. LA Knight kind of being able to feud with everybody. And then Jey Uso wanting to get what's back with his. So I think it does create a big-time match. But this is kind of a stopgap situation at the moment. It is seeming like we're going to progress to something. But I wanted to talk about what Jordy mentioned, it being an additional person. What if that additional person is someone who wants that world championship? And maybe his logic is to get close enough with the champion. That's how he'll get the title. Maybe it will be a little bit Triple H and Batista-esque. Maybe that Batista is not Braun Breaker. What if it's Sami Zayn joining and aligning with them? What if Sami goes on board and aligns with Seth's team? Him and Seth got a close relationship, and that's kind of the maybe it's route that we had at the bloodline breakup with Sami and Roman. We kind of run in a different direction where Sami then turns on Seth and gets his title. Could be something to think about. I don't know.
I know Paul Heyman as well as any of you do, and he joins. You got to be kidding me. That is genius, Shad. Shad, I did not expect that from you today. I really didn't, especially since we're this near to the end of the show. But dude, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I was finished.
Dude. No, dude, you're on that where it's like, I've been tight with Paul Heyman since I was the honorary use.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? My allegiances you're going to question? Oh, the amount of fodder there is off the charts.
Can I spin a different yarn as well?
Yes, please
Just,
do, in fact.
Potential, and I think somebody that could genuinely do with a heel turn, despite me saying that they're one of the most over people when you hear the music. What if mid-match LA Knight shows that he's aligned with Seth? Because I think he could actually benefit from this group. And Ben's going to tell me he's way too old, yada, yada, yada. I know, but I think that could be a hell of a finish if
I like
LA
that
Knight
too.
turns on Punk and Jey Uso.
Both guys. The beauty is both of those guys are good tail of the coins. They could be great baby faces, and they're also great heels. They've historically played both sides well. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm totally in.
Or
by the
to
way,
make
Jordan.
Clark really happy. What if it's all ego Ethan Page?
And do you know what as well? I think if I was LA Knight, given the situation, what was saying with having all the opportunities and never getting over the line, what Seth is the vision of the future. If he says, "Well, if you align with me, I can get you a championship, can't I?" And it's like, right, well, you know what? I was aligned with Triple H, but that didn't get me anywhere. I need to be aligned with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins because he's the one that's going to take me somewhere and actually get me something.
This is interesting here from Eugene. He's saying maybe Paul turns because he always brings up Roman being the GOAT and how Roman maybe attacking Brock. Also, what if he turns and just aligns with Brock? He ditches the whole group.
To Donnie's comment, by the way.
Yes.
We talk about a free agent, Donnie.
That's true. It was exactly the first thing I thought.
And check out Huge Pop Radio because we talked about it last night. And the one good thing I brought up was this. So Sami Zayn became the biggest babyface in wrestling in my eyes, at least over the last few years, right after the Bloodline storyline. But right before that, I was making a documentary. He was making a documentary, and he happened to have a rivalry with Karrion Kross, who didn't say that he was wrong, like he told us he would at SummerSlam. He never did. He said, "We're done," and then he released a documentary.
That's true. That's crazy enough.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Come on now. Man.
Yeah.
The original documentarian was Sami Zayn. Of course, we interviewed this morning, Shad, you and I, the most recent documentarian, and that's Chris Weaver.
We talked to him today, man. That drops this Sunday.
Unreal.
Drops this Sunday. I'm excited for it.
And that interview will drop this Sunday, but I will say with that, it's going to bring us to the end of the show. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Please check out Off the Air tonight. It's going to be me and Drizzy, maybe Shad. Who knows? It depends on how tired he is. We'll
see, man. We'll see if little man lets me do the podcast.
Either way, yeah, we'll see. This is on actually the other Sammy, the real Sammy Huda. And at the end of the day, we also want to thank Jordy, Mr. Mickey's best pal, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. That's, of course, noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the East. It's 8 o'clock in the UK and 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Keep it locked in at Wrestling Republic. We will talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.